Ladies and gentlemen, keep this podcast away from Jim Carrey because this is number 23.
That was a movie he was in with the scariness, and people didn't like it.
I didn't really care for it, no.
I don't remember much about it, so there you go. But we are relating our podcast to it, so there we go.
So now we're going to have to try and contrive some sort of way that this connects with our episode.
Yes.
All right, let's do it. So we're going to be reviewing Flatliners.
Yes.
So scariness, death, still within the theme.
Okay. The Foreigner. It's a Jackie Chan film, and Pierce Brosnan's in it.
Pierce Brosnan is in it.
You're getting anything from this?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like against type because The Foreigner seems to be a movie where Jackie Chan isn't playing his usual happy-go-lucky self.
He seems pretty morose in it.
The number 23, Jim Carrey.
Morose.
Super morose.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Morose.
This still works. And then we are also reviewing
Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Okay, so then Jumanji... Let's see, it looks not great, nor was the number 23. Okay, we got it. So strap yourselves in, we're going to do this.
You can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch.
Grab a seat, pour yourselves some whiskey neat. It's time to judge the shit out of these future releases by the movie trailers. We're trailer hits. This movie might totally suck, but the whiskey sure is going down fine. Yeah, we're trailer hits.
Man, it has been a while since we've actually reviewed a trailer.
It has,
yeah, because our last episode, we were reviewing 50 Shades Darker compared to the trailer and the movie itself.
Correct.
Featuring my roommate.
Yeah.
AKA my lady friend Jenny.
Yeah, no, she seems great.
Yeah.
Does she pay the rent on time?
I gotta remind her every once in a while. That's roommate.
Seems like an okay roommate.
Roommate problems.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
But yeah, anyway, so that was our last episode, which was 2 weeks ago. So the last episode before that was another 2 weeks before that. That's the last time we reviewed stuff.
It's been a full month since
a lot of trailers have come out since then.
Yes.
Obviously, we don't have a shit ton of time with you guys. We don't want to bore you to death with our boredom voices.
I'm sorry I stopped paying attention.
That's exactly my point. There's a lot of trailers, is my point.
Yes.
And... So we're gonna focus on 3 for our main drag.
Of course.
We're gonna hit up some hitchhikers.
Yes.
And we'll also just remind people that there's some other ones out there too. We'll get to that.
Of course.
But first, there's something that you need to talk about.
Yeah, we goofed again.
Hey, it won't be the last time, Kevin.
It's not going to be. No, I should just get really comfortable with this. We're going to launch into a trailer repair quick.
A trailer repair?
Yes.
We have a song for that.
Here we go.
Trailer repair. We're doing some repairs on the trailer because it needs it done because we fucked up.
Right. So here's the deal. So a few episodes ago, we conquered Con. A conquest.
That's right. The conquest episode.
And for our regular listeners, you'll know that some of those trailers did not have subtitles and were also not in English. So we just sort of had to guess what some of these movies were actually about.
We had fun with it.
It was a blast.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we weren't necessarily correct in one of our interpretations.
But we knew this going in. We knew we were going to be wrong.
I was kind of hoping that I was correct about this one. We have a listener, our dear friend Rio, wrote into us to express that, one of these trailers actually does have a plot.
Right.
That makes sense. So Rio is a Japanese citizen. He's fluent in Japanese. And so he communicated to us about what the movie Radiance is about.
Yeah.
We reviewed this trailer. Before we get into his text, just to give people a refresher, I'm going to read what my description was for the plot of Radiance.
And then I will say mine from memory, which might be wrong.
Okay, but you know what? Don't worry about it. It's not like people can listen back and double check.
Of course not.
So, Radiance, it's about a voice actress trying to advocate for better public transit. When she meets a photographer who refuses to take pictures of buses, she decides to befriend him to change his mind and understand the detrimental effects of car ownership, namely the harmful gases they radiate.
That was good, because you had the wordplay in there.
You know,
for Radiance.
yeah, for sure. And, like, I wasn't necessarily geeked out about it, but I thought it was an interesting premise. That's what I gleaned from the visuals.
All
James,
right.
what was your
So,
take on it?
from memory,
Yes.
if I'm remembering correctly, I believe I said something along the lines of the female lead is a kindergarten teacher or something.
Yeah.
No.
A
No,
student.
she's an elementary school student who's trying to remember trivial things like stop sign and bus stop for her pop quiz that's coming up, right?
Yes.
And then the guy, he's an amateur photographer, I think, or like a hipster. I think I called him a hipster.
It was probably a hipster.
And every time he looks into his camera, he sees a different life where he is Meryl Streep, I think. I think that's the
This
way...
doesn't sound familiar, but I'd watch the shit out of this movie.
I think that's the way I went with it. I can't remember exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, look out for Charlie Kaufman's next movie, which will likely have this exact synopsis.
So there you go. That's what I said.
However, Rio writes in to say, listening to the podcast on Con and just went through Radiance. It's a Japanese trailer, and if you were curious what it is about, judging by what the trailer gave me, it's about a girl who does...
Hang on one second. Should I read this as Patrick Warburton?
Oh my god, yes, it would be great. Well, I
That's
actually
true.
really prefer if Patrick Warburton would just stop by.
That's
for
a good
second.
point, Kevin, because we have him on call.
Yes.
Why don't we call him? I'm just going to hit the Patrick Warburton button that's on my counter. Okay.
I thought that was the garbage disposal.
No, it's
I've been
a-
calling him.
No,
for
it's
the
a
past-
direct line to Patrick Warburton.
Oh.
He's probably been... oh, look, there he is.
Hey, Patrick.
He's entered.
Thanks for having me, Kevin. It's good to be here.
Thanks, Patrick.
It's been a while.
I know. Good to see you again.
Everybody calm down. Thanks again, Rio. Here we go. Judging by what the trailer gave me, it's about a girl who does voiceover dub for the visually impaired, maybe even blind person, who, I guess, falls in love with the main dude who is slowly losing his vision and might go blind. Hence why he is so adamant about photography. And since he's losing his vision, he can't do what he loves. And I guess the voiceover girl and he falls in love? Question mark. I don't know. I personally think the trailer wasn't that good as a native speaker. End quote. Thanks a lot, Rio.
Thanks, Rio, and thanks, Patrick.
Bye, Patrick. Okay, he's gone.
So,
God, he's getting real tired of just coming over here to read shit.
I'm honestly pretty flummoxed. Like, he seems like he has a busy schedule.
Yeah,
He's-
you'd think
he's-
so.
He's a working actor. But
Anyway, thank you, Rio, for that.
So,
To recap.
So the reason why she's just adamantly pointing out shit is because she's trying to help the visually impaired, and it turns out the photographer is going blind. That sounds like an interesting premise.
Yeah, I read the text from Rio, and I was just kind of like, sure. Why not?
Yeah, that's fine.
It fits.
That's completely acceptable to me.
So did my Meryl Streep thing, but this fits as well, so fine.
I think we were both batting at a solid 20% with our premises.
Fair enough,
Our
fair enough.
premises.
Yeah.
So
thank you, Rio.
thank
for
you,
texting
Rio,
in.
for
and
texting us, giving us the full context.
for anyone that's interested, Rio is the reason that we have an international fan base.
Absolutely.
Without
yes.
Rio, we're just panning to stupid United States citizens.
Well, I mean,
which-
hey, coast to coast, we have plenty of listeners. I'm sure, probably, please don't actually check on this.
we're international, baby.
But yes, with the help of our buddy Rio,
Yeah.
the entire world knows what's up when it comes to trailers.
Thanks
That's
again,
awesome.
Rio.
Thank you, Rio. All right. Well, now the trailer's repaired. Might be time to hit the road, wouldn't you say, James?
I'm ready, but how are we going to get from A to B?
Well, we're going to have to hitchhike. Now, for those who are just tuning in for the very first time, Hitchhikers is where James and I go through a set number of trailers rapid fire, and we give you an abridged synopsis and then give you our abridged thoughts on top of it. Our rating scale for trailers is as follows: need to see more, or never need to see.
That's right.
Now, if James and I both give something a need to see rating, we are going to celebrate for a second because that's kind of neat. You know, consensus is good.
Yeah.
However, once we give something a need to see rating, we then go and see the movie, preferably opening weekend, but, you know, life.
Yep.
We will then watch the movie, get back to you guys with a trailer in the rear view episode in which we delve into the movie itself, but also the trailer as well.
Just like our last episode on 50 Shades Darker. Go
Yes.
check it out if you haven't.
Yes, absolutely. James's roommate is in it.
That's right.
So-
My roommate, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have 9. That is right, 9.
It might be a record low. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Now,
It
with
doesn't
a
matter.
record low number of trailers,
Yeah.
should we set a record low time for it?
I mean, I think yes, but also keep in mind we haven't done this in a while.
That's true.
So,
yeah, there might be some stumbling.
How about we go with 6 minutes and a half? 6.5 minutes?
6.5, yeah.
6 minutes and a half of a minute.
And a half of a minute.
Also known as
You put that
6:30.
together and you get
6.5 minutes.
Okay,
All right.
great. All right, so I'm ready. James, are you ready?
I'm ready, and also the timer is ready.
If you're not ready at home listening, please hit pause because we are going to get started right now. We Are Animals. It's about a world where animals rule and 2 criminal organizations go head-to-head using mechs. Also, there's a powerful stone because at this point, why not? Pick 2 of those and I'd probably hear you out. Never need to see.
Look, I don't know what I was expecting from this trailer when it began, but if I could vocalize what I was expecting, I guarantee you it would be 180 degrees in the other direction of what I just saw. Is that a good or bad thing? I don't fucking know. This isn't for me. Never need to see it.
American Made. It's about a pilot becoming a drug and arms smuggler for the CIA. For those who haven't seen the trailer, yes, it did play out exactly as you imagined in your head. With the exception being that Tom Cruise is in the lead, and I thought he was a lot of fun in this. The energy is certainly there too, but given how well treated this ground is, it'll take a little more than the theme of "lol, it's America, get it?" to get me to take off to the theater. Never need to see more.
Need to see more. Okay. Maverick has fallen on some hard times, ladies and gents. There's really not much to dislike here. Seems like an interesting enough story that the trailer presents in a way that is fun and energetic, even though the trailer goes on a little too long for my taste. But for some reason it doesn't excite me.
Yeah.
Something's keeping me grounded on this one. Need to see more.
Good pun.
Thank you.
Ripped. It's about 2 stoners in the 80s who get so high they wake up in 2016 and can't compute how wacky the future is. I suppose if you're high, playing one note for an entire trailer is really deep or something, but given that this whiskey hasn't even hit yet, I'm gonna lie and say I'm interviewing for a job, so I shouldn't smoke just in case they drug test. Never need to see.
Initially, I was worried that this was a Hot Tub Time Machine ripoff with weed, but I was pleasantly surprised to be wrong. The way the trailer is cut, it doesn't really tell us what this movie is about outside of the inciting incident, but I thought there was some good, solid jokes peppered in. Looking at you, DJ joke at the end, which I did like.
Oh, that was sort of
Yeah, but with the exception of a few, I've never been that interested in stoner comedies, and this doesn't look like it's offering me much more than a contact high. Never need to see it.
Oh, good.
Thank
Blind.
you.
It's about a woman sentenced to community service after her husband gets sent to prison for being a Wall Street douchebag. She ends up falling in love with the blind man who is under her care. Hey, Blind, there's something on your nose. Oh, it's your fucking theme. Never need to see.
At first glance, it's hard to see what kind of genre this film is supposed to be. The look and music imply dramatic thriller about a corrupt husband, but upon Demi Moore's sentencing and intro to Alec Baldwin, it takes on an almost Nicholas Sparks romance style setup, but then it's back to bad husband McDermott, who reminds us this shit ain't The Notebook. I'll be turning a blind eye on this one. Never need to see it.
Home Again. It's about a recent divorcee getting 3 new roommates, all dudes in their mid-20s. I kind of wish they gave me more to go on the character than, whoa, what a klutz. And a lot of the girls felt a little too new girlish. But I like new girls, so I'm hoping one more trailer can help me turn this around a little. Need to see more.
Okay, so caveat, there has been more trailers since this one,
Oh, has it really?
but my review is on this first trailer.
Sure.
Reese Witherspoon fake crying in a mirror. Weird way to start a trailer. Full disclosure, I love romantic comedies. I'm not shy about that. Overall, this looks like it could be fun and breezy. However, from a trailer view, there's some issues here. It's difficult to know what the situation is. I get the impression that this is bubbly rom-com is about Reese Witherspoon just getting laid by a bunch of different hot guys, but she's being sad about it? What's the problem, Reese? Plus, the 50 Shades of Grey style shot at the end over the song Just What I Needed doesn't mesh at all. Need to see more.
The Limehouse Golem. It's about a detective tracking down a serial killer in the old days. 10 seconds in when I saw the horse carriage. Ugh. 1 minute in. Wait, it's a noir? Okay, I'll hear you out. A minute and a half in. The fuck fuck are you doing here, Karl Marx? 2 minutes in. This is a lot of pull quotes, and I've only heard of one of those publications. That's probably not a good sign. as of us recording now. Kind of bewildering, but still kind of stuffy. Need to see more.
Okay. Woof! There is a bad Frankenbiting in this trailer. Some bad Frankenbiting. Note to self, explain what Frankenbiting is to the audience if they don't know. Overall, this felt pretty boring. From the very beginning, the music is trying to manipulate you into thinking this is intense and suspenseful, but it's really not based on the action. The acting range is relatively reined in, and the dialogue is overly dramatic. It's a message. No shit. Oh wait, he has more to say. To us. Wow. Again, no shit. Never need to see it.
Yeah, that did kind of fall flat, didn't it? Security. It's Die Hard in a Mall meets Home Alone from the producer of London Has Fallen. Well, that explains it. Never need to see it.
Security. First of all, the tagline after the title card, security, it's going to be a long night, is cheesy in all the right places for me. This looks like a blast, I think. The trailer began with a hook to get your attention right away, then lulled you into a bit of a humdrum life for our main man Antonio, but fucking pulls the rug out from under you with the crazy unrealistic action, but it just works for me for some reason. I'm excited to see El Mariachi kicking ass once again. Need to see it.
Holy shit.
I
we'll
know.
talk. We'll talk. A Beginner's Guide to Snuff. It's about two down on their luck aspiring filmmakers deciding to fake a snuff film to get famous, but the tables get turned on them. So that last twist comes way the fuck late in this trailer, but up until then, I was actually sort of surprised by this Tucker and Dale style horror comedy. Not saying the twist is bad per se, but I think that should have been the driving force of the trailer. Also, I think the snuff film the guys are making is supposed to be fake or not. That's kind of unclear right now. Need to see more.
I laughed way more than I thought I would at this. The aesthetic points to a weird independent horror film, but make no mistake, this is a comedy, and there are some genuine laughs in this trailer. My main criticism, I think the trailer shows a bit too much by showing the tables turn between the captors and the victim. Would have liked to see that reveal in the film itself, though I would have kept the chainsaw shot at the end. There's still a solid tease. Need to see more.
Fair. All about the money. It's about three friends trying to capture a Colombian drug lord for the bounty. I think, I'm gonna be real, I sort of tuned out halfway through this and I didn't see anything that made me want to rewatch it. Never need to see.
Man, I think this trailer is a hodgepodge mess. I think it tries to accomplish too many different things and falls flat for me. If a normal trailer is broken up into, let's say, about 3-act structure, this trailer feels like it has 7 acts. Also, I didn't really find it funny at all. And, Kevin...
What's the time?
I'm so sorry.
What?
Also, did I say never need to see it for that
I don't
one?
think you did.
Well, never need to see it, but it doesn't matter because we went over by 5 seconds.
Damn it! Oh no. We have to watch another Never Need to See It.
We have to watch another Never Need to See It movie.
Okay.
Here's the thing, guys.
Uh-huh.
We have a lot of movies to review that we actually did want to see and that you might actually want to hear the reviews for.
Sure.
So we will get around to watching another terrible movie for you because we love you.
We'll put up another poll.
But give us a fucking break right now, I think.
We just got done with 50 Shades Darker.
Yeah,
We just,
okay.
And
All
we've
right.
already fallen off the horse.
We have 5 seconds,
Like
Kevin.
5
5 seconds. That was upsetting. All right, anyway.
All right, while we have the time, yeah, I don't know if security was just in on its joke. I think that was sort of what was, like, pulling me back.
Sure.
Like, especially with, like, the whole, like, you know, I'm down on my, like, fucking economy, lol, and, like, Antonio Banderas is all. It kind of felt like they were hitting, like, serious themes, but, like, that's sort of an interesting point that, like, this may just be fun schlock. And it certainly doesn't seem as racist as London Has Fallen.
See, I didn't have that pre-existing knowledge that this is by the... What did you call it? London? Is it London Has Fallen?
Yeah, there's like a huge...
Or Olympus Has Fallen, right?
Yeah, it's if they're just specifying London Has Fallen, maybe this was just the dude they pulled in for the second
Kevin,
movie.
that's when it got good, though.
Yeah,
that's when the franchise got good. Yeah, I didn't know that going in. Maybe if I did know that going in, I don't know, maybe it would have swayed me to be like... Oh no, that looked horrible. So this is probably more in that line.
Sure.
But I didn't. So was that a title card?
Yeah,
I
that
totally
was
missed
definitely
it.
one of the cards.
Man, I totally missed that title card. Anyway. Yeah. So I wanted to say real quick.
Yes.
For the Limehouse Golem trailer.
Yeah.
So I said there was some bad Frankenbiting in it.
Yes.
Now
I don't know what that means.
Thank you. I'm glad you don't, so that I'm not just like saying it to the make-believe audience who's listening, and then you would be bored because you knew what it was. So in editing, when you're dealing with audio, and you need a person to say a sentence, But they never say that sentence in its entirety, but they say the first part of that sentence at one point, and then maybe an hour later, they say the second part of that sentence. You splice them together in audio. Obviously, you can't have the video there, right?
Yeah.
So the shot, the visual is usually on someone reacting or an establishing shot or something like that. That is called frankenbiting.
Interesting.
So you're basically Frankenstein monstering a line of dialogue. Yes.
Is that common in post?
It's incredibly common. Yes.
No kidding.
Yeah,
wow.
you Frankenbite a lot, and sometimes you can pull it off, and you can't even tell. Sometimes it doesn't. For example, in this trailer, I thought the line, I think it was Bill Nighy says it, or maybe someone else, but they literally say, they're calling them the Limehouse Golem murders. So like that, so that last word is like...
I kind of want to rewatch the trailer
You
now
should.
just to see it. Yeah.
You know what? Let's do it right now. We'll do it.
Please stand by.
Oh, holy shit, that's like real apparent.
Yeah. So I obviously made it more dramatic when I just did it just now, but it's like...
But yeah, you can definitely hear...
Yeah, and when you know what
specifically, he says the Limehouse... And then Gollum murders.
Yeah.
So it's like they made it a point to add Gollum in there.
Yeah, especially when you like work with audio a lot. Let's say if you're editing a podcast maybe or something like that.
I can't imagine that at all, but go on.
Your ear kind of becomes a little bit more attuned to stuff like that. So I hear Frankenbiting a lot more in trailers than I used to. And that's not a really egregious one, but it really stood out to me.
But as soon as you pointed it out, I listened back to it and went, yeah, no, Gollum sounds super out of place in that sentence.
Anyway, I wanted to enlighten all of you and let you guys know a little term and what it means.
Hey, thank you for the enlightening,
Frankenbiting. There you go.
I feel like I'm just one step closer to self-actualization now. So thank you, James.
You're welcome.
All right, so are we getting on this main drag, sir? Or?
I think so. I'm ready to hit the gas.
All right, well, let's hit the gas, but we're immediately going to hit some pretty flat terrains. Because we got to talk about Flatliners.
Let's do it.
Everyone I touch today, I'm gonna heal.
It's an awakening.
3 minutes. Jamie only did 2. What can I say? We're competitive.
I'm going next. 5 minutes.
7 minutes.
No one's ever come back from that.
Was it all fun? Was there anything disturbing?
Something is happening to us. I think I'm going crazy.
Maybe we opened the door.
All right, get ready for this. Y'all are going to die when you hear about it. It's Flatliners. This is the remake of the...
Either early 90s or late 80s, right?
Yeah, probably.
Like Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts, Kevin Bacon, but like young Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
So there you go.
The point is this is directed by a gentleman by the name of Niels Arden Oplev, a name that I'm horrifically mispronouncing, I'm sure. He directed not the girl with the dragon tattoo, but the second one in the series.
The girl who kicked the hornet's nest.
No, that's the third one. The girl who
on fire
couldn't remember the long
this
title.
This girl is on fire.
Yeah, that one. The Swedish version of that.
Yeah.
He directed that, and it is written by a gentleman by the name of Ben Ripley, who wrote the film Source Code.
I like that movie.
This is starring Ellen Page, James Norton, Kiersey Clemens, Nina Dobrev, Diego Luna. Kiefer Sutherland does make an appearance in this, apparently.
All right.
And we here at Trailer Hitch like to give a random shout out to some of the actors that don't get credit. So for Flatliners, we are going to give a shout out to Mary Grant, who plays the radiologist. Hey, Mare, good on ya.
Mary Grant, you're my future hero.
Probably.
Because I haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I don't want to say...
As of now,
yeah, I don't want to say present hero. Future hero.
Future hero,
right.
Of course. All right, so let's...
Spoiler alert, all of the people die.
Oh, is it really? How that happened? I haven't actually seen the original.
It was a joke.
Oh!
Because the movie's about them killing each other. and then bringing themselves
Listen,
back
James,
to life.
James, stop beating your joke to death. We gotta.
Damn it!
So
you still came out on top on that one, Kevin. I don't know how it happened.
it's not a competition. It's not a competition.
You're killing the competition. That's what you're doing.
All right, that was good too. So, Ellen Page walks up to some random schmuck in a cafeteria and says, "Hey, do you want to have some fun later?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, absolutely."
There's only one way to read that.
Yeah, having come from 50 Shades Darker, I just buckled up and prepared for anal beads going up in places where they shouldn't go up. But then all of a sudden they're going into a basement.
Right.
Which unfortunately still led to the anal bead theory I had earlier. But then it's revealed that Ellen Page is fucking around with some machine. She looks at this guy and says, "I want you to stop my heart for a minute."
You're right. Essentially, she has a theory.
Yeah. And the guy's like, "Sure." Because, that's science.
Yeah.
Just, you want to do something crazy and unethical? Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I mean,
fine.
he says, "You're joking, right?" First. So he didn't just dive right in.
You were sure.
He dipped his toe in first with the joking line.
And then just belly flop.
Just
belly flopped right the fuck
Yeah.
in. Ellen Page dies for a minute, but then she gets brought back. More scientists kind of get brought into this. And she wants to describe to herself, other people, scientific community, the world writ large, what it's like to experience death.
Yeah.
She gives you some bullshit about there being energy and whatever. But the big thing is...
Not just energy, Kevin. Pure energy.
But what does that pure energy maker do, James?
I'm glad you brought that up, Kevin.
Yeah.
Because the best line in the entire trailer comes from Ellen Page is like playing fucking Chopin on the piano or some shit. And one of her scientist friends literally says the line, "How's she playing the piano now? It's like her brain's been rewired." And that's when Kevin and I both laughed real loud.
Yeah, we did.
That was a bad line that belongs in a bad movie. I'm just going to say right there.
After this, all of a sudden, once you see Ellen Page play the piano, then you just want to die. So everyone is just lining up. I want to stop my heart for 3 minutes. I want to stop my heart for 5 minutes.
But before that, though, I think it was before that, there was a good line. I think it's a cheesy line, but I think, okay, so the douchebag guy that she lures to the basement under sexy time pretenses, he has the line, "It's a good day to die." I think he delivers it pretty well. I think this guy is clearly supposed to be a comic relief type character.
Right.
In a movie about a ridiculous concept of, getting superpowers from dying and coming back to life.
Of course.
And I think he delivers it pretty well, at least in the way this trailer is presenting it. So the line, "It's a good day to die," I think he does it in a good way that kind of got me back into the trailer after the train wreck of a line of rewiring your brain to play piano. Anyway, continue.
So now all of a sudden all these folks are dying and having a shitload of fun. But as the ever-wise Kanye West said, no one man should have all that power. Or in this case, no one Ellen Page should have all that power. And, of course, there is an asterisk to all of this. And that's ghosts.
Is it, though?
It kind of seems like it's ghosts.
It's kind of is vague. It's kind of vague as fuck about what the ramifications of this are.
The douchebag guy who we've been referencing sees a ghost baby. Ellen Page sees a ghost girl in a car, and she sort of thwacks the...
She also sees the word murder written on the bottom of a pool?
Yeah, or murderer.
Murderer.
It seems like it's actively trying... It's a message, James, from the killer.
And she probably doesn't feel that bad about it because she's like, yeah, I killed my friends and then brought them back to life.
Yeah,
I guess I'm a murderer.
Yeah,
but we all are cool with it. So fuck you, bottom of the pool.
Listen, bottom of the pool. I don't need your fucking take on assisted suicide.
Right. That's
okay?
right. Yeah,
this is our choice.
We're not getting into the ethics debate with a bottom of a pool.
And so, all of a sudden, ghosts and shit start popping up. And Ellen Page has some line where she's like, "I have to tell you something. This wasn't just about seeing what happens after death." But then, the trailer sort of peters out in weird ghost shit.
Yes.
And that's Flatliners. That is what we are working with here today, folks. And so what do I think about it? Well, first and foremost, it's good to see Ellen Page in a leading role.
It's been a while, right?
For sure. I really like her as an actor. I'm kind of sad that the Ellen Page role has kind of become a thing. The Ellen Page role being a secondary character who just asks questions and then gets exposition thrown at them. I'm thinking specifically of her role in Inception. Like, she doesn't really have a character. She's basically just like, how does this work? Do you mean like a work placement? And then, like, Leo has to basically be like, oh, this is how stuff works.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of cool that,
Has she
like,
been in other roles like that? I don't think I've seen her in much. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Fuck it.
But, I mean, even in Westworld, the one woman that got to look like Ellen Page is in the Ellen Page role.
So you're saying it's kind of like a trope now?
To have an Ellen Page character.
They have to look like Ellen Page,
But that's a thing, though. Yes, you need a petite, short brunette.
Right.
But so, no, it's nice to see Ellen Page in a leading role. Diego Luna, I think, is also a fantastic actor.
So he was my favorite part of Rogue One. Or he was my favorite...
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say this trailer. I'm like, he's in this for like 10 seconds.
Oh, no. I mean, I am excited
Sure.
that he's in it, and he looks cool in it. And like we've talked, the characters in Rogue One were kind of lacking. I thought he was like the strongest one in my opinion. So I've been really excited to see him kind of take his career by the horns after Rogue One. And I want to see him in more stuff. And this one looks like a cool role for him. It's a supporting role. I'd like to see him in more leads.
Yeah.
I think you are the only one among the two of us who've seen him as like an actual lead, which is Mama Tambien.
Mama Tambien.
Right.
Yeah.
He was the lead in that, right?
Yeah, it's him and Gail Garcia Bernal
Okay.
are the two leads in that.
And so I haven't seen him as a lead before.
Fucking good, man. And like it's cool because you can display a lot of range.
Yeah,
I mean, like
I got that from Rogue One. Even though like we said, the characters aren't like totally fleshed out, but what I did get from Rogue One, I'm like, I think this guy is a good actor, and I'd like to see him in more.
Yeah.
Darth Vader in the corridor. That was my favorite part of Rogue One. Not important.
Easily.
Moving on.
But anyway.
Anyway.
And I can tell that the douchebag science guy, even in the trailer, is doing a pretty good job. Like, he's selling his role well. And so it's like, it seems like the people who were making it were like having fun with it, which is good. And oftentimes for me, that's really infectious. I also think from a visual standpoint, like there's some kind of neat stuff. I'll get into the ghost shit in a minute, but I will say what I did like about Ellen Page's Ghost Girl in a Car bit is she's at a music festival, it's night, and then all of a sudden she like has a little freak out. All of a sudden it's the middle of the goddamn day, no music festival in sight, there's just one car, and then Ghost Girl like, thwacks the fucking window.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she's back in the night. If the movie does actually commit to that surrealist style, then I think that's really cool. And, like, that could be a really effective and fun way to do horror. Just for me, though, I do definitely feel like this was a trailer that you could have lopped in half and sold on its own. Just in that the first half...
How do you mean? Yeah, I'm curious.
Just in that, like, the first half of the trailer just kind of seems like a weird, goofy, off-kilter comedy. I'm gonna bring you down for fucking, JK, my fetish is I wanna die.
Yeah.
And, oh, she can play the piano. It's like her brain has been rewired. Like, if they knew it was funny, that would be a funny line.
No, but you're right. Like, the quote-unquote fun aspect goes all up and through them, like, competing with how long they can stay dead.
Yeah.
And then, like
which,
you
again,
said,
if it wasn't played with such a straight face, it would actually be sort of funny. Like,
which I think it was not comedy, but I think it was lighthearted enough that they're just like, these are scientists. These aren't people that go out and play basketball on the weekends.
They just die.
This is their basketball, and they're having fun with it. And I got that vibe from it, which was cool for when it made the switch to horror, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening now?
And it did. It, like, just completely... Did you notice in the score, you had, like, the...
Yes. I thought that was really effective and awesome. I loved that. And then it picked up tempo, too, as it kept going. I thought that was really great. I liked that a lot.
And I mean, like, the horror stuff, again, I like the surrealist touches, but, like, I think if they committed one way or the other, because, like, Ghost Baby does nothing for me. You know what I mean? I don't have context as, like, into the character to understand why...
A Ghost Baby would be traumatizing him?
To him.
That's a really good point, yeah.
And the bottom of the pool, as fucking judgmental as it is, calling that one lady a murderer, that really seemed to resonate with her, but it's like, she was like, I have a terrible secret. And it's like, well, that's kind of a weird nugget to just drop in a trailer and just leave. And I think the reason why Ghost Girl in the Car thing worked for me, again, was because it was like a very radical shift.
Yeah.
And I think was kind of a cool way of kind of showing what can happen to your mind if you fuck with it
Yeah.
by killing yourself and depriving it of oxygen, and like how it can completely adapt and change your senses.
Yeah.
That's actually like kind of terrifying to me. Versus like murderer at the bottom of a pool, ghost baby, that sort of stuff wasn't really hitting for me.
I gotcha. And like Ghost Baby didn't bother me a whole lot.
It's not like it pissed me off. It was just kind of like...
Oh, no, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. But like bottom of the pool was really fucking pissed me off. It's like that like racist uncle on Facebook. And it's just like, dude, calm down, bottom of the pool. Okay, I'm going to unfollow you. I didn't like that part of the trailer is what I'm saying.
Sure.
And also, obviously, it's like her brain is rewired line. So these two things are really like the main things that are like bothering me.
Sure.
Otherwise, I really kind of like was enjoying this trailer a lot.
I think it's pretty well constructed. You know what I mean?
It's-
And what I was getting at with like you could split this trailer in half sort of thing. All I was really getting at is like all of a sudden it does really shift.
Yes.
That's not to say that it doesn't completely throw me off.
Yeah.
The math checks out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It worked for me. Yeah, sure.
So ultimately, I was surprised by how I walked away from the trailer and thought, yeah, this is fine.
They really brought it back a lot from that terrible brain rewiring line.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I thought I was in for a really terrible trailer after that line.
For sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds like you really enjoyed this.
I did really enjoy it. And honestly, along with the score, I thought they accompanied the really cool score with really interesting visuals. Like, I thought it was really effective. I was kind of fascinated by how this trailer was edited. So there you go. That's what I have to say about that.
Well, no, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got a kick out of it.
Would you like me to go first?
Sure.
Okay. So those two things that I said really bothered me, like a lot. And after the brain rewiring line, it did a really good job of reeling itself back in and building up a lot more like street cred with me, you know. But like it's the end of the trailer happened and I still was like, man, that line was terrible. You know, you should have forgotten about that by the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
But I didn't. And the bottom of the pool thing I thought was real dumb too. It's like, this is it. Like this guy just saw a ghost baby. This girl is getting, like, haunted by the fucking Coachella car ghost. And I'm supposed to be afraid by the word murderer written on the bottom of the pool. It does nothing for a trailer, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, totally.
So this is a really, really high need to see more for me.
Sure.
Based on those two things really did bother me. But I thought the trailer was constructed in a really, really effective way.
I just love that that's what tilted you down to need to see more. I probably like a combined total of 3 seconds of a 2.5 to 3 minute trailer was just enough for you to be like,
that's how fucking important a second is in a trailer. That's why you can't overstay your welcome by making a trailer too long, and that's why you can't have stupid shit in a trailer. I don't care if you thought you needed some sort of exposition line about how her brain is rewired. ADR a better line or something, because that one was garbage.
Sure.
It was garbage.
No, and that's a really good point. Yes, every second should count in a trailer because they are short.
Yes.
And I feel like good trailers, in a way, do give you like a little short form story. So, I completely can tell where you're coming from. And for me, this is definitely a need to see more. I was ultimately surprised by it in a good way. Like, I have not seen the original Flatliners. Maybe at some point I will, but it's not like I'm really dying to see it.
No, like, because we watched this trailer and then we found out there was an original.
Well, I mean, I knew, but
you knew about it.
Yeah, but we were we should watch that trailer.
Right. Yeah.
So we actually did compare and contrast the two trailers, and ladies and gentlemen, trailers have come a long way since the 90s. It's pretty goddamn embarrassing what passed back then.
Important to note, there is the exact line of "It's a good day to die" in both trailers.
Yeah, but I mean, so like I walked away from it going, well, I was sort of impressed with some of the stuff that was happening in there.
Sure.
Especially leaving that weird cliffhanger of, I wasn't just bringing you down for us to do this experiment. Like, it's not just an experiment. Man, unless you have something super fucking cool up your sleeve, I just don't think it's gonna work. You know what I mean? And bear in mind, my taste buds still have soured. Because the last time a trailer did it, it was Passengers. And the twist in Passengers... I
don't want to know, by the way, because I do plan on seeing Passengers eventually.
I thought the twist was...
Did you see it?
Sincerely disliked it, yes.
Okay, so just for the audience who doesn't know, Passengers was a movie trailer that we reviewed. Mm-hmm. The movie came out, people saw it, and reviews started hitting, and everyone was kind of like, did you hear about the twist in Passengers? And like everyone was like bashing this twist in Passengers. And I kind of want to watch the movie now, not knowing, and kind of have like an original opinion of it as I'm watching it.
Sure.
Just like you did.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, just like transporting someone into a completely different place in their mind and being attacked by a Coachella ghost is like really cool, I think. And like, I was having a lot of fun with that. And, you know, once you dangle that carrot in front of me, to then have, as you politely mentioned, the racist Uncle Pool that just like spurts shit at you. Yeah, I mean, like, it's sort of a letdown. And so there's some good in this trailer, but ultimately, no, like, I don't really feel like I can commit to listening.
Fair enough, yeah.
All right, well, that's all we got when it comes to death.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep on traveling. We might just go overseas. Maybe encounter, say, a foreigner?
Okay, I'll allow it.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was good.
Everyone's already inside.
Bye, Dad.
An explosion rocked the city today.
£20,000 for the names of the bombers.
That's not how we do things here.
Hello? Mr. Hennessy, he's here again. That's 5 days in a row now. What does he want?
His daughter was killed in the bombing.
Mr. Hennessy, please find out the names of the bombers.
I work for the government, not terrorists.
You used to work for them.
I don't know who the bombers are.
I don't believe you.
It's him.
You would tell me the names of the bombers.
All right, let's stamp our passports for The Foreigner. This is directed by Martin Campbell, who is top known for credits on IMDb, give you a really good case for, like, how this could go either way.
Okay.
So, here we go. Casino Royale.
Love Casino Royale.
GoldenEye.
Love GoldenEye. Wait, what?
Yeah, same dude, apparently. I just found that out, too.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's his director. For both of them.
What?
Yeah, man.
The director of Casino Royale was the director of GoldenEye.
Yes. Yep, directed by Martin Campbell.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? Okay, all right.
All right, so those are the first two. The Mask of Zorro.
I fucking love The Mask of Zorro.
And The Green Lantern.
Look, I fucking love The Mask of Zorro.
So again, could go either way. This is starring Jackie Chan, Pierce Brosnan. There's apparently an actress by the name of Charlie Murphy.
Okay.
That's just, I don't know, I just thought that was interesting. Those are our top billed actors. Our random shout out is going to go to James O'Donnell, who plays Sniper 3.
Sniper 3!
Hey, James, we look forward to seeing your eagle-eye precision. Or do we? We'll find out.
I don't know. He might be a good or a bad guy.
All right, so what's going on in The Foreigner? So Jackie Chan, walking along with his daughter, drops her off someplace, and it's just kind of like, have a good one, champ. And she's like, I love you, Dad. And she hobbles off into this place, and then as he's walking away, a fucking Children of Men style explosion just rips through the building that she came out of. Jackie Chan, distraught over his daughter's death, goes to the police and says, I would like to offer you £20,000 to tell me the name of who did this.
Yeah.
So that way I can take the law into my own hands. Cops are like, that's not a thing, and please leave us alone.
Yeah, you can't do that, okay?
So he goes to Pierce Brosnan, who...
James Bond himself.
But who is, like...
I think he's just, like, the commissioner or something.
Yeah.
I think he's part... Look, the trailer doesn't do a great job of establishing the role of Pierce Brosnan in terms of his job. Mm-hmm. I think he's like the commissioner or something of the police department. I don't think it's like a Secret Service position, is what I'm saying.
So anyway, he goes to our boy Pierce, who's like, bud, for real, we'll do everything we can. We don't know who did this.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan's like, I don't know about that. You kind of seem like you fucking know.
I think you're full of shit.
Yeah, and Pierce Brosnan like kind of kicks him out or whatever. Then all of a sudden another bomb goes off, but it rips through the building that Pierce Brosnan is in. It's on the ground floor. No one gets hurt. They're all freaking out trying to figure out what's going on. Phone goes off. Pierce Brosnan picks it up. Jackie Chan says, you should tell me the names of these fucking people, yo. Hangs up. So
he sends him a message.
Yes.
In more ways than one.
And so
he's not to be trifled with.
Now bear in mind, most of the police force, after failing to accept a bribe and after a bomb went off, are like, I mean, he's a grieving father. But Pierce Brosnan is having none of this shit. So he sends people off to fucking kill this dude.
Or arrest him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look,
well, I mean,
I think
some of those people have guns, though.
No, true, but
they're
like
shooting to kill.
I think they could have.
It seems like something nefarious is going on.
Yes, it does. And the trailer, I think, does a good job of keeping Pierce Brosnan's intentions or his motivations in question, which is good. It's good to be in question. Like, we don't know what side of this shit he's on. I'm glad they did that. Like, they could have easily painted Pierce Brosnan in as, like, the bad guy of this trailer.
Yeah.
He's the corrupt official. Jackie Chan is there to, like, take vengeance upon the, you know, type of bullshit.
Yeah.
But it plays it more to both sides. Yeah. So I think that's important. I think that's an effective way for you to watch this and go, I don't know what's going to happen in this.
And we'll get into it later, but I really do wish that they would have played up the ambiguity with Jackie Chan's character. Because, like, hey, here's the deal, folks. If your child is ever blown up, it's not good to then plant another bomb and blow up a place. You know? Like, regardless of the point you're trying to make.
Yeah.
It's kind of a no-no. And
even if you can get away with it.
Even if you get away. Even if
you're
they're
probably a shit bloke, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think if they had played a bit more with, like, the ambiguity of, like, I don't even really know if he is on the right side at this point anymore.
Yes.
I think that would have been really...
It touched on it. You're right. I think it could have gone further.
Yeah,
yes.
for sure.
That would have been interesting.
And anyway, like, more of the trailer is just, like, it's a lot of action set pieces from that point on. At one point, we get Jackie Chan covering himself in some leaves, effectively creating the first leaf wall that I have seen in film. We have Jackie Chan doing his normal Jackie Chan sliding down a pole thing.
Looking great while doing it, too.
Motherfucker's like 70 or something.
I'm just like, you look at it and you're like, it's a Jackie Chan film. Oh, yeah, it's Jackie Chan doing his Jackie Chan thing. And then you forget that he's been doing this for fucking, like, 50 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Non-stop, and he still just crushes it.
I know.
I just love the man to death. It makes me want to watch Rush Hour.
And, like, bear in mind, like, I get winded if I go up 3 flights of stairs, and there's Jackie Chan going at 70, just, like, kicking the shit out of dudes.
Yeah.
And, like, he's able to, like, you know, crouch up into, like, the upper part of a ceiling and, like, hold himself up.
Yep.
I can't do that. I'm 27 and I'm in pretty good health. Not good shape, but I'm in good health. I haven't broken as many bones as Jackie Chan has, that's for goddamn sure. But
I'd like to keep it that way.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. That's not really a record I'm trying to break. That's the gist of the trailer. James, hit us with it. What do you think?
I thought it was good. The trailer did a good job of keeping the ambiguity with not painting someone as, like, the villain, other than the people bombing. Look, if we're gonna, like, really dissect this and predict shit, who's the antagonist of this movie? Oh, just random bombers? Okay, it probably isn't that simple.
Right.
So, Jackie Chan's suspicions of Pierce Brosnan having a little bit more in the know of what happened is probably a little bit more on the nose. But let's not totally, like, predicting scenes of, like, what the movie is going to be.
Those of you listening who would like to comment on the fact that we just goddamn did that with our Con episode, feel free to write in at trailerhitchmailbox@gmail.com and remind us of that.
Hey, that's only because we couldn't understand it, because we're in America.
That's true.
Anyway, the point I'm getting at is the trailer did a good job. Even if Pierce Brosnan is the main antagonist of this movie, the trailer did a good job of casting some doubt there.
Yeah.
And as you said, I think it could have done a better job of casting some doubt whether you will like Jackie Chan as a person.
For sure.
Maybe he is a bad fucking dude. And that's okay. That's interesting. Like,
Yeah,
I think,
and especially that last shot with him on the bus, he just looks broken as a human being.
Yeah.
And to have that be your action star is really interesting.
And it's like you constantly hear about like your hero, quote unquote, saying that they have a dark past, but you don't really like feel that. Like, you say you have a dark past, but whatever, you're still kind of a good dude.
Once I got a B on a math test.
Yeah, but it's like with Jackie Chan, they could have gone in the way of like, no, this guy is a bad guy. He is a bad guy. He got out of the game. That doesn't change, his stripes, though.
Right.
Type of thing. And like you said, I think the trailer could have done a better job at that. The music choices were a lot of fun, energetic, and I think hip-hop with an action film is a really interesting way to do it.
Sure.
Yeah, I liked the trailer. It didn't, like, totally floor me, though,
Yeah, I was pretty fine with it, too, It's really interesting, because at the end of the day, it's Jackie Chan does Taken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would just say, just in terms of its visual style, it's a lot of handheld. Camera's fairly tight on the action.
And, like, the color palette just seems very...
Lots of really...
grays and blues, and... It's not very interesting on, like, an aesthetic level.
For sure.
And I understand that is a style.
Yeah, that's a thing now.
And it is a style that works for certain things, but... I think the more and more I watch films that, like, the entirety of the film is just, like, in this one color palette, and I just kind of get a little bit bored with it.
Yeah, because Jackie Chan is known for making kind of, like, more lighthearted action movies.
Absolutely,
and to be fair, like, he has cited Buster Keaton as a huge influence, and, Buster Keaton was a comedian, and I think that's what lended his movies that sort of lighthearted touch, is at heart... They were effectively comedies, just with a lot of physical action and humor. And so to take that guy and put him in a Taken-style movie, it's not something that inherently makes me go, what? No, get out of here. But it's something that makes me perk up my eyebrows and go, was that the best choice? That's kind of interesting. Like, don't get me wrong, happy to see him again. Think he's great.
Yeah.
He can still do all the shit. That's pretty neat. He's really old at this point. That said, I don't know if it's enough for me to be like, this is so out of left field that I have to go see it. Because he is still doing, like, the, goofy sliding down a pole shit.
Yeah.
Which, though it's still really impressive, is that going to fit the self-seriousness of the son of a bitch? And I don't know yet. And
too little to tell.
Too little to tell.
Yeah.
But that said, I mean, some of that action stuff, the, like, silenced machine gun, that gets shot out of his hand.
Yeah,
like,
what's going on with that? So that's so he just makes, like, an automatic machine gun type weapon silenced with, like, a roll of duct tape at the end of it? Is that like, what he's doing? It looked like that, right?
So,
I'm not crazy.
They
looked like they opened a duffel bag with duct tape in it. And then all of a sudden...
one of my former roommates is a huge gun nut, and he kind of gave me the lowdown on silencers at one point. And yes, you can actually do that with, like, any gun.
With a roll of duct tape.
Yeah.
Just, like hanging off the edge like a coat hanger.
He actually taught me you can... and bear in mind, when I say he taught me, it's not like we went out shooting, or he was just kind of like, watch this shit, we can make my gun silenced. But he, according to him,
Kevin,
you could take a 2-liter bottle... duct tape that to the end of a gun, and that's a suppressor now. It's only good for the one shot once you break the seal of the 2-liter bottle. But, so, like, that is actually a thing. I'm really glad that all of you were listening for me to talk about inane gun shit that I don't even really know for sure that I just heard second.
This is fascinating to
me. Yeah, so, I mean, I liked how improvised the weaponry was.
There you go, okay. Yeah.
It kind of lended to the idea of... Like, he is just sort of throwing together whatever the fuck he can to get his goal accomplished.
Well, and that's Jackie Chan in everything. That's what everyone wants to see, is him make a weapon out of something in the room. People can claim that Jason Bourne started it with, like, the pen, but Jackie Chan has been doing that shit forever. Anything in the room is a weapon to him.
For sure.
Usually he does it with a comedic look on his face. This case, not so much.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. The shots in the trailer were too quick for me to like really get a good look at the weapon. But it just looked like a machine gun, but he just draped a duct tape roll over the edge of it.
Sure.
It just doesn't look like it would do anything.
Right.
But I'm not a gun nut, so I'm not gonna...
Sure, and I mean, it's not like he'd be able to fire the entire clip and, like, it just... Be like,
sure,
beep, beep,
yeah.
Beep, beep, you know.
Yeah, and who knows, the next second of that shot in the film could be someone busting in being like, we heard every shot.
We heard literally every single thing.
Oh, looks like you tried to suppress your gun. That didn't work, sir. We all heard it. And he go, damn it. And there you go.
End of film.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I kind of wish like there had been a bit more ambiguity with characters, whether they be good or bad. But the action on display looks cool. So will I see this? Yeah, I probably will. Is my ass going to a theater, though? I'm going to need to see more on it.
Yeah, I'm going to need to see more, too. It's a very middle-of-the-road trailer.
Definitely.
I thought. So yeah, need to see more.
All right, fair enough. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go to a place with fun and games.
What has fun and games?
Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh my god, it's such a great title.
Guys.
Oh, they.
Ow!
Where's the rest of me?
Oh my god. Fridge?
Yeah, I'm Fridge. Who are you?
It's me, Spencer.
Who is she?
Martha?
Why am I wearing half a shirt and short shorts in the jungle?
I think we got sucked into Jumanji and we become the avatars we chose.
So that means...
Bethany?
Oh, wait, Bethany. Don't look at it!
No!
I'm an overweight, middle-aged man.
Well, I don't have my Claritin, and all I see around here is pollen.
Well, I don't have the top 2 feet of my body!
Damn, that is a man right there. Don't cry, don't cry. Don't cry, it's gonna be okay.
So please bear in mind, the games aspect of this is plural, because there are 2 trailers out for this. We have...
which took us by surprise.
Yeah, a bit. We have the regular old trailer, I'll say. The good US of A trailer.
Domestic.
And then we got our international trailer.
Sure,
We're going to lightly be touching on both.
Yeah.
You might be thinking, oh, this probably really matters. Nah, not really. Neither of them are that great. But, you know, we're going to talk you through them. This is not a remake necessarily.
So
what would you call this? A reboot, maybe?
I would call it a sequel. A reboot re-sequel.
A reboot re-sequel?
A reboot re-sequel. A reboot re-sequel. Yes. Like a sequel and a reboot at the same time type of thing.
Sure.
So it's kind of along the same lines of, I don't know. Like a lot of people called Star Wars The Force Awakens, like it's a sequel, but it's also like a reboot because it's like rebooting the franchise. You don't really have to have seen a whole lot of previous Star Wars films. You could start with this one and be fine going forward. I think that's essentially the same thing that they're doing with this.
Okay.
There you go.
So, we'll just keep it on record that James compared this to Star Wars, and we're going to move on. This is...
I've never done that before.
Directed by Jake Kasdan.
Can you say a couple other films that the director has directed?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, like, Bad Teacher, Walk Hard, Orange County.
Orange County.
Now I know what you were waiting
One of
for.
my favorite movies.
Yep.
Onward and upward, he would say, maybe.
Well, is it upward? Anyway, this is starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I've heard of him.
Kevin Hart, Jack Black,
Also
Bobby
heard
Carnival,
of him.
Reese Darby. Our random shout out is going to go to Tracy Bonner, who plays Fridge's mom.
Okay.
Tracy,
good job, Tracy. You got to raise that fridge somehow, you know?
Way to rock it. All right, James, sir, can you kind of give us the spiel?
Sure,
please?
okay. So earlier today when this trailer hit, I thought it was just the one trailer, so I was just watching the international trailer for most of the day. So that's the one I kind of gravitated towards. I have very, very low expectations for this coming out, right? Like, I heard that they were doing a Jumanji sequel. I saw the production photo of them all standing there in their costumes in the jungle. And right off the bat, I was like, because the people were already commenting on how the redhead was dressed so scantily, a lot like, you know, early Lara Croft, Tomb Raider type costuming. And I kind of was like, yeah, you're right. That is very apparent that she's dressed that way. You know what I bet these are avatars that like video game designers created that are kind of like inept.
And honestly, like, there's probably the one line in the trailer that I liked.
Sure.
She looks down and says, why am I dressed in a short skirt? And like, why is my midriff
short
showing
shorts and midriff or whatever.
Sure. In the middle of a jungle.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought that was because that is video games. I mean, Lara Croft, at least in the first games, was wearing like booty shorts, and her boobs were not only triangles, but they were about the size of the sun.
Hey man, they were very pleasant triangles or pyramids or however you want to describe those polygons.
Listen, I'm not judging Lara Croft's boobs. I'm not the bottom of a pool. I'm not going to throw shade. I'm just saying that's what was going on. And so, like, I thought that was kind of like a clever comment.
Yeah,
on
and that's something that I kind of
meant it, but you know.
And that's something that I kind of caught on to early on with just that one photo. So I had very, very low expectations for this. Not even,
and they were met.
Not even the fact that Jumanji was a movie that I really loved as a kid. It wasn't even coming.
A shitload as a kid.
Yeah, but I'm saying it wasn't even coming from that aspect that I had low expectations for this. Just looking at the cast, you know, that photo, I'm like, I see what they're doing here. They're making a completely different kind of movie. Like, this is going to be a comedy. So I had very low expectations going in, and you're actually kind of wrong, Kevin. I liked this trailer more than I thought I was going to. Believe it or not.
Wow, your expectations were far lower.
They were really, really fucking low. No, I didn't love this trailer by any stretch, but I laughed at some parts. Like, I actively chuckled at least 3 different parts, and I'm talking about the international one. Now we watched, obviously, the domestic one, too.
Right.
And they tried to, like, pack in more humor, but I think the pacing and everything didn't account for that.
Sure.
And
especially the beginning of it.
And it ended up, I think, being a little bit of a mess then. I wasn't finding most of even the same jokes in the international trailer that I found funny, I wasn't finding them funny in the domestic one. For example, Jack Black's Avatar character ogling The Rock's Avatar character. In the international version, it has a little bit more time to breathe, and it's funnier for it.
I'm actually going to pause you for a second.
Sure.
Because we never really gave a synopsis on this. So, what this is about, super briefly.
Jumanji synopsis. Here we go.
High schoolers get sent to detention. One of them is a nerd. One of them is like a jock.
Your stereotypical teenage stereotypes.
Preppy girl and then kind of outcast girl.
Yeah.
Why is the nerd in detention? No one really knows. Why does the principal decide to throw them in a basement at the school? No one really knows. Why is there a video game that has the capability to suck someone into the console? No one really knows. All of these things happen, though. And, and then all, like, these 4 kids are now in their avatars. But in heart, they are these kids.
In Kevin Hart.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah! Sorry.
So yeah, like the jockey guy is in Kevin Hart, like he's the Kevin Hart avatar. The nerdy guy is now.
So they subvert their stereotypes as their avatars and kind of flip it on its head.
Yeah, no, absolutely, they do. And a couple of those jokes sort of amused me, but like Jack Black really being a
super popular high school girl.
Yeah, like, I'm sure he'll be able to mine some solid comedy out of it.
I think so, too. That's interesting. And also The Rock playing, at heart, a teenage nerd is kind of interesting, too.
But, like, in this trailer, I didn't really believe it quite yet. He has the one, like, I think I'm gonna cry line.
Yeah.
But, like, at the same time, I understand what they're going for. Because, like, the nerdy guy, you see him playing video games. So it makes sense that he would have some sort of idea. And he does spurt out some exposition of, like, we should all have skills and, like, that sort of shit. That, like, okay, we'll put him in, like, the Rock avatar. So that way but, like, that's sort of the weird thing is, like, I feel like that'll undermine the comedy. Because, like, it'd be more interesting if the Rock's like, the person who's controlling the Rock had never touched a fucking controller in their life. And now you have this big hulking dude, now all of a sudden, like, the most useless thing in, like, the game.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think that could have been really interesting. But, okay, whatever. Like, that's what's going on here.
Yeah.
At least with the Ghostbusters remake, even though it was, like, that reboot sequel blah, blah, blah thing that they were doing.
Well, no. I'm going to stop you right there. That's just a straight-up reboot.
Okay.
So there were no Ghostbusters previously in that universe.
I feel like we have to, like, write this down on, like, a chalkboard somewhere.
You don't need to write it down. Just ask me.
Okay.
I'm the fucking expert on this shit.
Good. I will come to you for all things reboot, sequel, remake.
I'm not the expert, but you know what?
It's too late. You've crowned
It's too
yourself.
late. I've said it.
Yeah, I mean, at least with Ghostbusters, it's like, well, yeah, like, they're doing their own thing with it. With this, the fact that it's Jumanji really feels incidental to the entire thing. You know what I mean?
So they almost are doing too much of their own thing with it.
Yeah.
Like, you could have called this movie literally anything other than Jumanji.
Yeah.
And it would have probably made more sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that.
And that's the thing, yeah, is it does definitely feel like having Jumanji as a title, for me, kind of like hurts it more than anything.
Yes. And a coworker of mine actually brought this up. He's like, why isn't it the board game? I eventually was just like, no, you know what? You're right. Like, when you're watching the original Jumanji, the board game, you can sustain your disbelief enough that a board game could have some sort of magical, like, craftsmanship woven in the wood and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You can sustain your disbelief a little bit for that. Maybe. It's got that glowing orb that just floats words to the tops and it sucks you in. But it's like when you make it a video game, it's like it's just computer parts and shit, and it's like it takes a lot of the mysticism away from it. My coworker was right. There's no reason it couldn't have just been the board game.
Yeah.
It could have been about what these people look like when they get sucked into the board game, not some video game. The video game was weird, man. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I mean, like, overall, this didn't really do a whole lot for me.
Sure, yeah.
You know? Like, the comedy didn't really land for me, or as much as I was hoping it would have.
Yeah.
The fact that it's Jumanji just kind of feels incidental to the entire thing.
100% correct, yeah.
Yeah, just kind of left me feeling, on it.
Now, I just think as a trailer in general, it was kind of poor. I don't really have any other thing to say other than that.
Cut and print. We'll see you in 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen.
I like the song choice.
Sure.
It fit well. Sure. Why not? It's not that hard to make that song fit in with that kind of stuff. Like I said, I didn't hate it. I also don't think it's a good trailer, though.
For sure.
So for me, this is my very first never need to see it, but it's a high never need to see it.
Okay.
If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to flat give it a never need to
That's
see.
That's okay. I'm fine with that. So I feel like we've agreed on every single main drag we've done.
We have, yes.
All right.
Hey,
even though we didn't think we were going to.
I know.
Every single discussion we had, I think we kind of thought like, oh, we're gonna be off on this,
just a little bit off.
But no, we nailed it.
Now we're still on the same page with everything.
There we go, Jumanji. And
so, all right, that is it for us, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it for Main Drag. I just wanted to say real quick, we are not oblivious, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, it's been like a full month of trailers coming out. Sure. We are aware that a Black Panther trailer came out for Marvel. and a Murder on the Orient Express trailer came out.
Those just missed the cut for us.
They missed the cut for us, mostly because we decided both of them are more or less teasers than trailers. So we're gonna wait until like a full-fledged trailer comes out for both of them.
And honestly, since it's been about a month, there's a good chance that you just remembered Murder on the Orient Express was a thing. Just saying.
That's accurate. I just wanted to say for both of them, if I had to give because I did watch them, if I had to give a rating for both of them, Black Panther, need to see more. Good use of fucking music in it, though.
Run the jewels,
Run the jewels, man. Fucking run the jewels.
Yep.
I know who they are. I've been to a concert of them.
It's true.
They do rap and stuff. And then Murder on the Orient Express for me, probably still a need to see more. It's hard to tell with teasers. There you go.
We also both agreed on the two sort of afterthoughts.
Did we really? Because I didn't ask
sure.
you what you thought of these two.
Yeah, because like the style of Murder on Orient Express was intriguing.
It was, yeah.
Because I did. I liked that slow tracking shot through the train.
That was a great shot. But there's not enough there.
There yet. And Black Panther seems fine.
Yeah.
That's all I really have for it.
Great music choice, right?
But it was fine.
There you go.
Yeah. So
we'll get around back to that stuff later, guys.
Yeah, once like the full trailer drops for those. Absolutely.
Also, Baby Driver coming out right now, like it's out already.
As of this recording.
Kevin and I both gave a need to see it for this one, so we're both going to see it, and we're both going to do a trailer and the review on it.
Damn right.
We won't be able to help ourselves from doing a trailer and the review on it.
Correct.
And then also, happy 4th of July, everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
because birthday, America.
It's America's birthday and shit, and fireworks and eagles and corn dogs.
Yes.
How about that?
Stay safe, be good, enjoy barbecues. Are you going to a barbecue? Let us know by emailing us at trailerhitchmailbox@gmail.com, or you can let us know if you're going to a barbecue on Twitter at trailerhitchpod, or you can let us know if you're going to a barbecue on our Facebook page or on our WordPress. Really, there are many ways to contact us and let us know if you're going to a barbecue or not.
And you can invite us. Yeah. We're not fishing for an invite.
No.
But you could.
I mean,
it'd be the least you could do.
It'd be nice to hang out with you. We
don't
really get to see you. We're just kind of talking into a microphone right now.
So either invite us to a barbecue or rate and review us on iTunes. How about that?
Either or.
Yeah, either one of those two things.
All right. Well, that is it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. We will be seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, guys. America the Beautiful. Bye. Some shit like that.
America.
You can't mount holy sails without a sailor stitch, and you can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch.